Bethany to go first, and then we'll do our regular business stuff. But I'm super excited, y'all. I know those of us who were at Summit remember Bethany, because we all, after she was introduced, were like, oh my gosh, who's this person? She's doing amazing. And I know that Amy and a couple of people, somebody went up to her after and said, we would love to have you speak on our team call. And I was like, yes, she's top of my list. So Bethany, we're so excited that you're here tonight, and really appreciate your time. But I think if you would, I don't know that much about you, except for you live in Minnesota, correct?
Yes, Minnesota.
Awesome. And how long have you been doing Zyia?
So it has been 2 years, but I will be honest. I was way too good for the business for about 7 months. And so I've really only been working the business about 1.5 years.
I was the same way. I was like the first 6 months, I signed up for the discount. I was like, I'm not selling clothes. And then I fell in love with it, but then COVID happened and I kind of had no choice, but it's been an amazing blessing. So I feel very blessed, but we're excited to have you here tonight. And we, of course, you can share anything you would like to with this group of people. I think I think the thing that excited me personally is I have had less and less success for my parties over the last year, especially on Facebook. It's just been a challenge. I think social media in general has been, but you obviously have really taken Instagram, which is an incredible platform, and built such a good base there. And you've probably done that through a number of ways from your other business that you do, but just sharing like what you do, how that works, and what you found success that might be a little bit different from maybe what most people do on an everyday basis.
Yeah, so I'm not like opposed to parties at all. I do, like last week I hosted 3 parties on Facebook, but I ebb and flow because Facebook parties or Instagram parties can be really defeating because you're not guaranteed the sales. And a little bit of background about me, because I think it influences how I approach the business, is I'm a licensed mental health therapist. And so going through, and I've been a licensed therapist for over a decade now, there's a fine art to allowing people to feel like they know you and being transparent and authentic, because if you can connect emotionally with your audience, you have the sale in the bag. And I think that's how I kind of approach Instagram. Is I approach it like it's a client walking into my office, and I want them to feel comfortable with me right away off the bat. And if I can do that, and if they can build that trust with me, then I know eventually they're going to buy from me or host a party for me or ask me about the rep opportunity. It's just a matter of time. So the bread and butter, I would say, of what I do is attraction marketing, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with. And it's a fine art dance. And the majority of attraction marketing is going to happen in your stories. So like, for instance, I don't love talking about my day on social media. I think it's boring. But if I hop on social media and I'm on my stories and I'm saying, hey, like today is a super busy day, got to get a couple kids out the door. I got one for preschool, just like random stuff, that builds that relationship with people so they realize like I'm an actual person. And I have that opportunity then to build Zyia into it. And I think just like thinking back, influencer for me is people do not want to be sold to. They want to feel like they came to the conclusion on their own. And so in how I talk about Zyia, I'm very careful and calculated about it. You're not going to see me be like, join my team. We're a girl gang. We have so much fun, because to me, that's off-putting when I see that from people. But if someone's going to share their story and talk about like, this has been a huge blessing in my life, like I look at where I've been and they authentically share about themselves, I feel that connection to them. And then the product is just the cherry on top to all of that. And I think what's different is like when you pop into a party, I don't know, everybody does their parties differently. Mine are 5-day parties. I have 5 days for people to get to know me, to be able to make a sale. When I'm on Instagram, I'm in there for the long game. So when I start connecting with somebody, in my mind, I put a 6-month mark on that. And I think, okay, in 6 months of them getting to know me, getting to trust me, and my brand that I'm putting out, I'm going to have enough of a relationship where it's easier to make a sale to them. So that's, I think, the main difference between social media attraction marketing versus like a party is you're in it for the long game. You might not get sales for a long time. And that's what I think makes it hard for people, and where people will be like, it's just not working for me. And it's like, well, it hasn't worked for you yet. You have to consistently show up every single day so people will know you're trustworthy. And I think of it too, like if you're driving down the highway and there's a billboard, that's great. There's a product on a billboard. I'm probably not going to think twice about it. But if I have an emotional connection to somebody and they offer up a product, I'm way more engaged to be interested in that product than if it was just something that I saw on a billboard. And so realizing we cannot approach our business as a billboard, people pass right on by that and go to the next thing. We have to be able to offer up a little bit of ourselves. And in that process, hope that people can engage and relate to us. And also realize in that process that not everybody's going to like you. When you're sharing authentically and being yourself, you are going to push away a market that's not your market. But I always go back to the truth of like, if I live for the approval of others, I'm going to die by the rejection of others. And I'm not willing to do that. It's really helpful for me. Like what we do with my money is we pay for private school for my kids. So this isn't like, oh, I probably should hop on social media and do, be engaged. This is like, if I don't, my kids get pulled out of school and we can't pay our bills right now. And so that added pressure, I thrive under, and it gets me out of bed at 5 a.m. and I do the same things over and over and over again, repeatedly to the same people. And over time, if you're authentic and you're vulnerable people come around and build that connection to you. So that's a little bit about social media. I don't know any like specific questions that you have. Social media is a tricky game. Building an Instagram is a tricky game. And I think the best thing that you can do is to find your specific target market. So I hit up straight off the bat twin moms. Like I'm a twin mom. I hit up C-section moms, postpartum, extra skin, diastasis recti, all of those things, because that is a niche that someone instantly can connect to me and be like, oh, she knows what it feels like to have a ton of extra skin and not have leggings that fit. So my target market very specifically is going to be moms who have a postpartum body that's unfamiliar to them. And my encouragement and the main message I'm going to send is movement is important. So when I approach social media, my main goal isn't to put Zyia out there. My main goal is to encourage women that movement is important. And by sharing my journey through movement, that Zyia is an important part of that. So it's like covert. It's a different way of doing it, but it's getting people to the conclusion that they need good leggings and a quality sports bra in their life to improve the quality of their life without pushing a product on people. So they're hearing about the product, but they're not having it shoved in their face in a way, to be honest, like so many other multi-level marketing companies have done, which push people away. And I think we're having to, those of us in direct sales right now are having to combat against years of really bad multi-level marketing approaches and do it a different way. But I think it's definitely possible to approach it in a way where you're not shoving your product down people's throats. You're sharing why your product is necessary for a quality of lifestyle without actually saying those words. And that happens over time.
First of all, you do an amazing job because I started following you after Summit and just seeing, like, I have stretch marks and I'm sure a lot of women on here do too. And you're just so open about that. And I love how you share that. And it comes across really well, like the movement part and like your discipline, all of that is just so awesome. So you do such a great job with that. And I'm sure that means a lot to a lot of people who are following you. You have a big following for Instagram. Is that something that you've built over time, or have you what kind of led that? Because you have a pretty large, I think, for a lot of people, are in the hundreds or thousands, but I think you're like 13,000 followers.
I'm close to 30.
30. There you go.
And there is no easy way to build a social media following. It's nitty and it's gritty. And I think a lot of people happening anymore. So I think the best thing that you can do is target specific audiences. So I'm looking up specific hashtags like expecting and empowered for me because they do diastasis recti. So anybody I approach that follows them is going to have the same struggles as me. And then I'll start a relationship. I'll do comments. I obviously post, like I offer a free product in the sense of I post my workouts. I don't like posting my workouts. I think it's lame. My husband has to record me. We legitimately fight every single time. And I'm like, why are you doing that angle? Nobody, like, that's a crotch shot. Do you not see, like, you're like, nobody needs to see that. It's not fun. But I want people to come to my Instagram and to stay at my Instagram. And so by offering something free, like a workout or like sharing my journey in motherhood, which a lot of it is, people are getting something out of coming. And so that's my in then to insert my products. So after every workout video that I post, I'm saying, this is my outfit. Just detail like, hey, this is my new Zyia release outfit. You can follow me over at my VIP page. So I have a separate VIP page. My number one goal is to get that group as big as possible. And that particular one's about like 1,800 or something like that. I'm trying to build that one up because I have no problem reaching out to them in messages and just specifically taking 20 a day and being like, hey, anything I can help you with. So if you're looking to build your Instagram, it's not going to just happen. It's going to take a lot of time and consistency, but it doesn't have to take tons of time. But you do have to get very clear about who you're trying to reach. If you're scattered and your approach is all over the place, and your feed, not that your feed has to look pretty. Like if you look at my feed, it's not pretty. There's like crap in the background, like cribs in the background, bags of clothes from kids, dogs. Like it's not that, it's that it's a cohesive feel. And I'm very, very clear on, I stay on brand. So what that means is I talk about fitness, I talk about Jesus, I talk about kids, and I talk about postpartum body, or just accepting and loving your body in whatever state that it's in. You're not going to see me all of a sudden posting about politics. Like that's not going to happen. Not because I don't care, but because I'm specifically trying to have people come to my page for a certain experience. And I'm not saying at all that it's wrong to post about those things, but I do think it's important to know your brand. If that's part of your brand, embrace that and grow that community, but to not be scattered and kind of all over the place in the information that you're presenting to people.
I was going to ask you about VIP. Do you have
number one thing is getting your stories?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Can you hear me?
No, that's okay. What were you saying?
I was going to ask you about VIP page. Do you have one on Facebook or just Instagram? Oh.
Yes. So I do have one on Facebook that I use, and I try to filter all of my Facebook parties into that group. But my main goal is to get people in Facebook parties to follow me on Instagram. Because that's a relational place. Facebook is very difficult to be relational. The people buy from Instagram. It's the culture of Instagram. And there's also a culture of Instagram of verbal blogging. So Facebook, it's just a different feel. You're very rarely going to find someone on Facebook that's verbally blogging in their stories. Versus Instagram, that's definitely a very accepted thing. We follow people who talk about their daily life. Like if you think about the people that you follow, I follow random people I don't know who like talk about their day, and I find it fascinating. And that's just more of like an accepted culture on Instagram. So I do have a Facebook VIP group, but I'm constantly filtering people to my Instagram page because then they're going to actually get to know who I am as a person and build that connection and relationship through showing up every single day, like no matter if I'm sick or not, I'm connecting with people.
And for your VIP page, is it just all Zyia then, since it's a VIP page for Zyia, or how do you kind of make the two different?
Yep. So my Instagram is just my life and my target marketing areas that I've chosen. My VIP page is just Zyia, and I have no problem over posting Zyia on there as much as I want because people have chosen to be there. Unlike my other Instagram, I want people to hear about Zyia without feeling like I'm very, very specific. If I do like 2 Zyia things in a day, I desperately feel like I want to share that part of my life, but because I want people to be connecting with me as I'm sharing a product. So it's very much an intentional thing on that one, where it's not just all Zyia, because that's what my VIP page is about. And I want people to come to the conclusion through seeing my life, like, oh, wow, she is thriving as a Zyia rep. Like, enhancing her kids. She's a stay-at-home mom. She doesn't have childcare. She's doing it anyways. So I want people to see that and to put themselves in that place. And so that's why I share my life with it, versus the VIP page. I'll be like, here's 10 pairs of unities, like one after the other. Sorry, cutouts. You have two. Yeah, so I have one personal and one VIP.
And I definitely.
And that's a personal choice. That.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So I was just saying, you don't have to do that. Like, some of my downline don't do that. Did you say all of your parties are done in your Facebook VIP when they want the party? Nope, they're not in my Facebook VIP. They're just in Facebook groups.
I was going to tell everybody, definitely, if you have questions, please feel free to ask. I have one more little question. For your Instagram parties, how have they been? And do you do that in a separate page too? How are you working those?
So I used to do Instagram parties a lot more than I do now. I don't really like to do them anymore. So I found consistently my sales with Instagram parties were like $200, which is great, but that's not extremely successful for a party. So I actually really don't do Instagram parties anymore. Just because I feel like the success for them is not as good. And occasionally you'll come across like a customer that's like, I don't have Facebook, and I've kind of gotten to the place where I'm like, well, we can send out your link and maybe even do like a text party, but Instagram parties I found are really, really difficult.
Yes. Amy asked, do you find that lives or reels work better for connecting, or do you use a number? Can you read that? I can't read that.
Numbers and videos. Occasionally I'll go live. Honestly, you guys, every time I go live, my kids do something horrible. Like, and I'm just like left being like, oh my gosh, like I'm so embarrassed, which is fine because people want to follow real people. And the reality is so many of us, like, our lives are very chaotic. We're doing the best that we can. And we're like kind of hot messes sometimes. And so it's okay. But, reels are kind of my thing. And a lot of times what I am doing is recording myself in stories, putting captions on them and including that in reels. So if you're posting reels, like for instance, for me at the top of my reels, like when you scroll someone's page, the grid cover photo, I will oftentimes put something like Mama 5 getting ready for the day. So that's the catchphrase that people see right away. So I don't do a ton of lives on Instagram, but I do tons of stories and I do post myself talking on my feed. And that's just a personal preference. But I don't, lives are just a little stressful for me, to be honest. Like, I have anxiety and that is just more anxiety than I need in a day. But a little trick that I do is I record videos of myself doing my outfit of the day, and then I just use those over and over again in different pages. So just post them on my Facebook group and any parties that I have, and then on my Instagrams.
Kimberly asked, do you do a CTA post or stories for people to buy? How do you feel your orders are coming from?
So this is like a question that I get a lot from reps is like, so I'm consistently pulling like $8,000 to $13,000 in sales. And that's with or without parties. It really doesn't seem to matter. That's just my like zone. I always try to get over 10,000 in sales, but a lot of that, it didn't start that way. So when I go back to like when I started and was just posting a random picture of my outfit, I was only selling like $1,000 to $1,500 a month. As time progressed, what I realized that people are really drawn to, and this is what can be really hard because it bucks up against a lot of confidence issues and feeling capable, is when I talk about my outfit, is when my sales just absolutely kind of hit the roof. So I don't just post a picture of my outfit. I talk about my outfit every single day. And I'm saying the same things. Like I'm wearing light and tights 90% of the time. So it's like every day I'm double stitch, high rise, 7/8 length. I'm 5'4". I wear these like every day, but it's rinse and repeat for people. They know they're going to see my outfit of the day. But I do it with my workout. So I found a way, that's my way of kind of being like, you're getting my workout, you know that I did it, and this is what I wore for it. So it's kind of my like easy in to then share what my outfit of the day was. So when I started talking about my outfit is when my sales started to really grow and that momentum grew. So just because you have a big Instagram following does not mean you're going to make a lot of sales. You have to work the people who are viewing your page in a way that's like tender and careful. And putting Zyia in there is almost like a bonus. But as far as like call to actions, I do them. It depends on kind of like what bonus I'm going for, to be honest. Like right now I've signed up so many reps. I need to develop those reps because I want those directors. And if you're consistently just signing people up, you don't have time to develop people personally. And that just doesn't sit right with me. I think it's important to be available to people. But I will do call to actions, but I'm very careful. Again, it's not like join my team. I'm going to share a piece of myself and how Zyia influenced that, and then let people make their own decision from that. But call to actions are great. I think giving people a specific thing, but what I try to do is challenge people to get over a mindset or the belief that they're incapable. So a lot of time my call to actions are not join my team with Zyia. They're more or less like, what are you scared of? What are you afraid of? And are you going to sit back in fear the rest of your life or actually take a chance that this is possible? So those are how my call to actions go. So I don't care if that means for a person who's super unhealthy to start drinking water or go for a walk, but there are people who've been watching me do Zyia who are going to hear that and they're going to make them that connection themselves without me having to shove it down their throat. So my call to actions are very like specific, but it's not necessarily you need to do Zyia. I mean, I have done those in a way, but they're more or less like, what's that dream that you have that like is holding you back? And what is the fear that you have that you kind of get to a place that you realize like you have time is going to pass. You have a choice what you're going to do. So at least live out and make the choices that you're proud of instead of sitting back and wish and regretting you would have done something else.
And Kimberly just said that I love that. That is so great. Who else has questions? And you can ask them. You can unmute yourself. No one? Sarah?
I do. And I think I kind of know the answer, but what, like, you obviously slow and steady growing your page and you're big on like connecting with people first, but it's purely like you're just like you'll find someone that commented on a post, maybe you commented or follow someone you follow, and you just kind of connected with them about like that specific post. Like what's your what's your cold action to like start the dialogue? It just totally depends on the person, and you really don't bring up Zyia till like maybe 5 months in, right?
Yep. And if they follow me, and this is where I'm at, you have to have so much confidence that doesn't border on arrogance, but belief in the process. So I believe in Zyia's product, and I believe that if someone starts to follow me, they're going to become a customer of mine, 100%. Like, I don't doubt that 100%. I'm like, if someone starts to follow for me, they will buy for me. So I let that take its course. My main job is to get people to follow me. And I don't need to talk about Zyia for that. If they follow me or on my page, they're going to see Zyia. They're going to see, I make sure I'm like reposting in stories every time I hit a bonus or every time I'm a top seller, like that stuff I'm definitely posting. So they'll get it. But I'm just trying to connect with people, get them to follow me just because we have a common connection and like they like me, and I'm going to let the rest just take its course.
Do you have because I'm a total systems person, do you like have like as soon as someone follows you, do you then like put it down somewhere and track like so you're like So you're touching base with them, or like, it's just kind of, if they keep popping up, they pop up?
If they keep popping up, they pop up. If there are specific people, so I'm 100% a gut person. Like my personality, I'm just gut. I go by my gut. I do like literally, you guys, I'm an Awana leader at our church. I didn't put the pieces together that this is an Eastern Standard Time. 9 o'clock. Want the kids in bed, like so typical me. Like I operate the best just operating from my gut in the moment. So I don't have lists, I don't have any of that stuff. A lot of it is just like feeling somebody out and being like, I think this is a good opportunity to like say, hey, do you just want to try a pair of leggings? You know I sell Zyia, I know you follow me here, have you ever tried any? But that just happens organically and it's not planned out, which I know Enneagram 1s and 3s, it's going to like drive you crazy. But I am like a true Enneagram 9, youngest child. I had 5 kids in 5 years. Like whatever happens, happens. But the main difference is I'm still going to show up every single day and it's going to look different every day. And so if systems work for you, go for it, because that's what's going to help you thrive. For me personally, I would rather like scrub toilets as a job than have to write a list and keep myself organized like that. So you have to find what brings you the most joy and is the most freeing, because we're in this business. So we're not, and some of us are working multiple jobs. I know I had to work multiple jobs before this became my full-time income. But whatever's going to bring you the most freedom and joy in it, do that system. And that's where that comparison is just going to like suck you dry. Of if you thrive a certain way, do it wholeheartedly and give it everything you have. But I know for me, because I operate from my gut, I'm best when I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants. And I'll be honest, every single morning I get up, the first thing I do is I read my Bible and I journal and I pray. And I'm literally like, okay, God, whoever you bring into my sphere today, help me to just honor you. And I would love to make a sale today. I would love to sign a rep up. But I have to trust you in that process. I know yesterday was like a super frustrating day. There's that dumb promo going on and like the competitive part of me can't let it go, where you have to like sign the one rep up and $1,000. And so I've been frustrated. So I did the first 10 days and I lost both of them. And I was really like discouraged. And I'm like, I'm not going to hit this second 10-week or 10-day period. Like I'm going to miss the bonus. I'm not going to go on the hike. And I just had to just stop for myself and be like, I'm home with my kids right now. I'm doing what I love. I get the opportunity to bless other women and like even just keep my own thoughts in check. Oh, your microphone is unmuted. Oops, I don't know what I did. The crazy thing is I ended up signing up somebody last night who I'd never talked to about the rep opportunity. And it was just like one of those days where I had to sit back and realize like I had to like give up a little bit of control of how I wanted to sign people up in the order that I wanted to sign up. And it was kind of cool to see how just the movement and the progression worked yesterday. That was a really big answer for something you guys didn't even ask. But I think the new promo is lame, but I'm still going to do it.
No, I love that. And I'm sorry. I thought I always throw people off because of Eastern time, because I'm Eastern time and most people are in different time zones, but that's just, I always try to do EST really big, but we're glad you're here. So, Sarah, did you have any other questions?
I don't think so. I just, cause like you said, you like get up every morning, do the same things over and over. And so you mean like, it just like the same things of like showing up and like doing your reels and doing your, like, that's your thing you're doing.
Show up every single day. And if you think about like the people who have influenced you most in your life, you oftentimes aren't going to remember like a specific thing they said, but you're always going to remember how it made you feel. And so I really like keep that with me. Like when I show up on Instagram, which I consider Instagram as my job, like try explaining that to your parents in their 70s, like Mom and Dad, I just quit my job as a therapist to work on Instagram as a full-time gig. But I want people to feel a certain way when they come to my page or when they hear me talk. And so whatever that looks like, showing up, I think is the number one thing you can do. The systems, the progression of moving people from customer to rep will happen. But I think the most important thing is offering yourself to people consistently every single day and over a course of period, people begin to trust you. But I mean, there have been systems that you can do. I know I have some reps that literally have a funnel tracking system that they do, and they move people down the funnel to that progression of asking people to be a rep. Sometimes I just skip the funnel if I have a vibe with somebody, and I'll just be like, hey, do you just want to rep? And just like go for it, and you're going to get shot down. But I'm not cold messaging people. Like, I'm just being myself. And I think that feels really good. And I always go by the rule of thumb too. Like, if I wouldn't say it to my husband, I wouldn't say it to anybody. And so I just talk to people like I'm talking to my husband, who is very sarcastic.
That's so awesome. Anybody else have any questions? Well, this has been so great, Bethany. I know everyone here appreciates your time, and I know you've got a lot going on. So thank you so much for being here and being a part of this. And so nice to connect with you again. Definitely appreciate your feedback. And if you're not following Bethany, you absolutely need to. What's your Instagram handle, just so everyone knows?
Is there a way to type on your phone? Yeah, I'll just write it in the comments.
Great. Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We're gonna do more business stuff, so you don't have to stick around for it. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Sounds good. I'm gonna go listen to kids' Bible verses now.
Yeah.
See you guys later. Thank you.
Do that. Awesome. Thank you again. Well, cool. So excited. That was great. She's amazing. Oh my gosh, $8,000 to $10,000 a month. That's just insane. That's so great. So I think there's so many good things and nuggets in there. And I know we talk about it a lot with just what we want to do with our social media. So I think that just hopefully reinforces all of that for you guys. But so let's get on to a couple of business notes. I wanted to let Sarah do her award she gives out for her team first.
Yes. I have this is my last one for the year. I do it like every other month. This is a very special one. I'm excited to give it. But this person, guys, just shows up all the time. Does my business building thing is for people that are doing the things that will grow themselves, grow their business. It doesn't mean that they're the top of the sales or top of recruiting or whatever, and they may have slow months, but they're just working the business as it works for them, and doing that. And this person is Angel Holmes. Yeah, like, you deserve it. Like, you deserve it so much. And I'm gonna give you something a little special. But Angel is my business building boss babe of the month, of the year, of 2 years. So
Oh my God. Like, what? I love you. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. Oh my gosh.
deserve it.
Making me cry. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. I really want to thank all of you on this call, because y'all are so sweet. You reach outs to me privately, and the things you say to me encourage me, because I'm just like all of you. I go through things every day with my business and my personal life. So it really means a lot to me, and I can't thank you enough for that. And I love you all so much. Like, you are so much my family, and just make this even so much more special. And why Brian and I talk about this a lot. Is like, is this what we want to do? And I'm like, this is absolutely what I want to do. And I just love this. This is so incredible of a job. I think it's so great. So, wow, Sarah, that was really special. Thank you. I have a couple of things I was going to share. At corporate today, we had a executive above call, and they, Zach was really flustered, I think, because of the did anybody purchase anything on the website? Okay.
I purchased last week when we had and it seemed to work.
Cool. And it's like Kimberly said, I'm glad that you can have an account. There's definitely so many great features. They just need to make it live. Like, just make it live, just go. But I think they're super close. So that's the good news. That maybe they'll wait till January, but they should do that soon. And he mentioned that they're going to be doing a couple of different sales around Black Friday, and the 12 days of Christmas is going to be different, but they're still going to have stuff going on. So I think I probably wouldn't expect the 12 days of Christmas, but I'm not sure exactly. And for anybody who's new, the 12 days of Christmas were the first 12 days of December. They did offers. They started that like 2 years ago. But they're doing all kinds of sales, as you can tell. They have the 25% off. They have Make Room Monday every Monday. They have that they did the Memorial Day. So they'll continue to do that. I think that's really working, and it's getting rid of a lot of inventory they have and all the things. So they'll just keep doing that. He definitely started to hint around the trip and the incentive trip, and that, you know, just kind of be prepared, get yourself set up for January now, you know, because you won't, obviously we're not as busy during the holidays because people, I had like 3 or 4 girls email me today. They were either buying Taylor Swift tickets and could no longer buy from me the rest of the year, which I was really pissed about. Or they were, you know, they just can't shop for themselves. They're like, I can't, I have my Christmas list and I'm not on it. So, but yes, that's just what's happened. So just try to focus. And I know several of you are already working on January parties. And what it sounds like is it will be a mix of reps, sales, and probably the 3x4, which is 3 reps and 2,500. And if you advance, I think they're going to probably go back to that formula they've used most of the time for the trips. They did mention base camp. I don't know if anyone has base camp going on around them. I know there's like 10 or 12 of them being planned. Is anybody familiar with if there's one around you? There's not really one around us. So I'm curious of what they're going to do. They said they wanted to make it within driving distance. I mean, there's one in Orlando and Nashville, but that's pretty far. So I'm hoping somebody plans one in like Atlanta or Charlotte. But if they don't, I'm just saying this for the local girls, I would love to do some sort of get together that, you know, at some point and do some sort of, I actually wanted to do, I think I mentioned this before, we did the Tony Robbins program this summer and it was so great. So maybe something like that, that's like less about how to do a party and whatever, but that is more about like, you know, being the badass you are and conquering the world situation. So more to come. But if there is a base camp by you, I think they're all under $50. They're all going to be great. So it can be a great way to meet people in your area. I know Canada has them, Australia has them. So if you haven't seen the schedule, I'm sure they'll be promoting that more, but they have been promoting on the Facebook page. This is our last call of the year. I'm going to do a training that's a free class, like I did the time management class, which is going to be on goal setting and making vision boards for next year. So if any of you are interested in that, please, you can let me know. I'll be promoting it heavily. So I'm thinking about doing it the first week of December. And like I did for the other class, I'm taping it and you can rewatch it later if you can't make it. And if you want to watch the time management class, I need to add it to my website, but you are welcome to. I think it was good. So I think it would help people to get more structured if they need that in their lives. I have talked, a lot of you guys are in the All In Angels program, which I'm thrilled that you are. I'm going to open that up next year to anybody in the team. You just have to apply to be a part of it. And not much is going to change. There's going to be a couple of requirements. Like I just want you to, all in Angels to set goals every month, because something about, I was talking to Chrissy this morning. I'm like, if you don't set a goal, you don't know what you're doing, even if it's the same goal mine is typically the same every single month, but it's just good to have it written down in front of you. So that's just one thing. So little things like that. But I'm going to give more benefits and focus to that group of people. So encourage you to do that. And then the last thing I want to mention, I have talked about it a couple of times, is I have switched over from TeamZ to a program called Penny, Penny, and it is so much better than TeamZ. I'm a diehard, I love TeamZ, but first of all, it's $10 cheaper and we can all save money. And I showed this at one of my WAM calls, but it's just the look and feel of it is really great. The way they connect you to Facebook. You can put your orders in there, and like I put in some orders from the last couple of days, and it automatically gives you your timeline for when you should follow up from people from like the next week, next 2 months, whatever it is. It's so incredible there. And it's just a lot more user friendly. So what I did is I downloaded my TeamZ database, which you can do just to have records of any notes I had. And then I'm going to just I'm moving it over. And the other thing I did do at Penny is I only added my customer list to start, and I had hundreds of customers. So before I added Facebook and my customer list. So when it populates my prospects, it's a bunch of random people, which is good. But what I realized is there are so many customers I still haven't followed up with in like a year or two. It's so crazy. So I'm like, I'm just focusing on those people first because they've obviously bought from me before. And then I'll add Facebook. And when you pull them up, you can hit the little, you add a little Chrome extension. And when you're on Facebook and when you're on Instagram, you can hit the Penny sign and it adds them directly to your Penny database. So as you start talking to people and you want to make them a hot prospect or whatever, it's great. So I would recommend to anybody here who's not on anything to definitely consider it for next year. But to also, if you're on Team Z, you might want to consider moving over to Penny. There's no kind of affiliate. I don't make any money, but I do have like they have a link you can share. But if you just go to penny.com, it's all on there. So, but that's all I had. Does anybody have anything else they want to ask or share? Kimberly?
Yep. On the Penny thing, did you, when you add the orders, are you able to download the orders and put it in that way, or do you have to do it manually?
So you have to do it manually. Unfortunately, they are trying to get Zyia corporate to actually do a membership that is included with our membership. They actually had a call with me and said, hey, how can we do this? I'm like, I don't know if Zyia is going to do that because they probably have, even if it's not the same. But you do have to do it manually.
Okay. And did the names come in backwards?
No, they did
Thank
not.
God.
Awesome.
That drove me crazy.
Pictures, you can add, I mean, it's just, it's so nice. It really is. I've definitely gotten a lot out of it, and they have a lot of training. I will say the setup, it was not as, I was more frustrated, but how they do their trainings is things you can read and then like pictures. And I like a video or just a full out like 30-minute walkthrough, and they don't do that. So I have given them feedback that they need to do that, because some people like me like to just get it all figured out. But so now I have like 20 emails from them about how to do stuff, and I have to read each one individually. But if you do sign up and you need help on it, just let me know. I'll be happy to walk you through anything. Cool. So anything else? Y'all excited about the holidays? Yes. I know it's getting colder. We obviously saw some of the new releases tomorrow. So I will say I got that light blue jumpsuit and I did not like it on me, which I like most things, that I get, but that I bet you the blue one, well, the darker one will be pretty, because I don't like things you can show off your butt so much and whatever, but I did like the color. So
Yeah. And I did get the white vest that was the giveaway at the end of last month, and I did size down in it, which I'm glad that I did, because I have the camo one, which is fitted, and it's a large, and I got a medium in the white puffy. I don't know if Sarah got the white puffy.
Yeah, I got that. I got my true to size small. I mean, it seems to fit. I was quick in just throwing it on. I haven't really given it a full review.
Yeah.
When I get back home.
I like that. So the whatever you call it, the scarf is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I wore it all day today.
Something, it's so expensive. I'm like, how is
It's
that
like 40? Yeah. Well, I think I'd already bought one before, so I'm giving mine to my top Canadian customer.
I love
Is it the one that's 29 or 49? Because we have two, right?
Yeah, it's not the Infinity one. It's the other one.
There's
I think the
Alright.
Infinity one might be there
that
at
scarf
49.
is $49.
I don't think
We
so.
do have one that's 49. I'm pretty sure, and then we have one that's 29.
Yeah,
We have two.
I thought it was the one that was more expensive, because I was like, how is that worth that money? I say that a lot, not about everything, but there's definitely like, how is that worth? Like the flannel sets, I'm like, no way, $50. I'm like, I'm closing a party for, not that I'm getting those, but so many things like that. I'm like, it's not worth 89, or that's why being a rep is great, because you can.
I know. I thought that about the jean jacket. I was like, man, I don't want to spend $94. I'm a cheapo, but I'm telling you what, I'm so glad I bought it. I've worn it like 100 times. I love it so much.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I want to get one. I did not get one, and I definitely want to get one.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Just to
Yeah,
clear it up, the black knitted scarf is $29 and the
Thank you.
infinity scarf is $45.
45. Okay.
Do you have,
Thank you.
Sarah?
What?
Which one do you have?
I don't know, whatever one came in the thing.
I
It's the
think
knitted.
it's probably the $29 one.
Knitted one, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
It
like
looks super.
It has, yeah, it has two ends, right? It's not a
Mhm.
circle.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
knitted.
As we're talking
Yeah.
about clothes, the emergence joggers are so stinking comfortable. They're so awesome. I love
Do
them.
they feel like the sweatshirt?
Yes.
It
They are,
looks
they are
cozy.
the softest thing. Does anybody else have them?
No.
They're so, I mean, oh my gosh, I wish I had them other colors. They are so, so comfortable. And you know what, when,
Oh.
Bethany said, and I know some of you do this, when she goes live and talks about her clothes, she sells more. I've started to do that, and I've started like selling from that. And I'm like, why have I not been doing this?
But
Like,
what-
Yeah.
My question was, so she's like, she just talks about it in like her story or her reel.
I think in her stories. So I didn't realize she showed her whole workout. I think she does. I've just started following her, so I need to pay more attention. But I think she does like doesn't she do like time lapse of her workouts? Just a
Yeah.
video?
Yeah.
Isn't like a full like the arms
No.
given a class, but
It's sped up usually. And I mean, I guess she's talking about her outfit in her lives. I haven't seen her lives. In her feed, it's just her workouts.
okay.
Oops, showing. Oh.
Yeah.
I've seen her do, I'm like losing my voice with this temperature change. She will like go, I think it's in her reels, that she'll show her outfit and like she does it like in detail. Like she'll go up to like the camera to like show like the detail
Yeah.
of what she's wearing.
Oh my
I have to
gosh.
check that out. I mean, that is a
I
lot.
need to figure out how to do Instagram lives. I tried to do one once, and as I was talking, I was like, oh shit, I don't know how to stop. So I was like, oh no, we got to figure this out.
Never know
And
how to
don't-
stop. And I
and
always
don't
ended
they-
with like, what am I doing?
And I don't think they record, right? Do they record? I think you
Yeah,
like,
it'll save it. Like
No.
you can do it live. And then after you're done, you can choose to like post it. And then it'll take a second
Okay.
and then it'll post to your feed.
Oh,
Oh.
perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, if this is live right now, I look like a big idiot.
It is.
then
Because
that's
it's like
the-
how they do on the new release, or how Jeremiah, Aaron, or Brenda do it. They're always live, but then a few minutes later, you can see it on the page.
Gotcha.
thing. That's really
Gotcha.
cool.
Because I do think, I mean, I do agree with her there. I absolutely will typically do better if I'm talking about what I'm wearing versus posting about what I'm wearing. So I would like to start going live in Instagram and Facebook stories more. I
Yeah.
think that's a good tip
Mhm.
for sure.
Do it.
Yeah.
She
she
has two Instagrams. I don't know. I was just trying to go through between both of them. I don't know which one is which.
Oh, I
She-
only follow one.
It's like life. Oh, somebody put it there. The life with
The other one
Bethany.
has just Zyia in front of it.
Yeah. So that one, the
one's-
Zyia one's her VIP.
Oh, okay. That one I think is where she posts about her outfits.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I just follow the one that has, I did not realize 30,000 followers, but wow.
Oops.
That is
Well,
crazy.
And her reel that she did was showing her extra skin, 17,000
That
views.
was awesome. That
Yeah.
really, I mean, like, I was like, wow. And that, I mean, I have major, not, I mean, yeah, I have stretch marks that I hate, that you can't get rid of. So,
Me too.
yeah, Brian, yes, you do.
Aw.
Okay. I'm following her on her VIP now too. Well,
Okay.
cool. Well, I love seeing you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and happy holidays. I know I'll see you.
Happy holidays.
And we do reminder anybody on the WAM, we have our final WAM call tomorrow for the year, and we'll start WAMs back up next year. So anybody who's had a break
Yeah.
and you come back, we want you back. We want, we've had a good group this year, this last time around too, but I love Love
Yeah.
getting the girls back together. So we'll do that.
Get the band back together.
Awesome, guys. Well, y'all have a great night and we'll talk soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.